Hi there, angel baby boos. I just wanted to make a quick little video for Spiritual Monday. As y'all know, we're gonna talk about spirituality per usual because y'all remember that we're talking about these things again. Obviously, I never stopped. Like if you follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, it's always a thing that I talk about, but I want to keep it on YouTube. You know, I want to keep that energy up here. So of course, I'm gonna be talking about a spiritual topic every Monday. If you guys hadn't known already, if you guys have any questions for me that you want me to cover regarding any kind of spiritual topic, you can always let me know. And that goes as far as anything, like anything spiritual related, even like finding a life purpose or spirits or angel numbers, auras, anything at all that piques your interest, let me know, including zodiac signs, whatever it is. I would be more than happy to talk about those things because I love these things. That's all I think about all the time. Y'all don't know. Like, I know y'all know. Like, I feel like a lot of y'all understand, especially if you're somebody who's like recently got really interested in spirituality or has that very prominently in your life. But I will tell you guys, like, it's all I think about. It's all I freaking think about. But okay, with that being said, let me tell you guys right now, the thing that I want to talk about today is a limiting belief behind zodiac signs. And I want to let you guys know for sure, for certain, that zodiac signs are not nearly as limited as people assume that they are. I will say, I will tell you guys, I remember a few years ago, I remember mentioning in, I think like 2 videos, I feel like it was 1, but it could have been 2, but I remember that I think it was actually more than 1. I was stating in those videos that I had aspects and like zodiac signs in my chart, my birth chart, that I didn't like, in the way that I felt like they were limiting to me. I felt like I don't want to claim that, so I won't, and this, that, right? Okay, I want to let you guys know, when it comes to zodiac signs, they are not limiting to anything, okay? You can have an aspect that isn't the best or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what an astrologer tells you with that, in the way that if an astrologer tells you that because you have this aspect that you can't do this, it's not true. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, astrology is a lot more limitless than some people assume that it is. And I mean more of the people who find a lot of fear factors behind some aspects, behind some zodiac signs, some degrees, some anything. It could be literally anything, even transits, because I will say for myself, it's just not. Like, it literally is not. Every single zodiac that you have does play a role within your life. And again, what I mean by that is every single zodiac that you have in your birth chart. So you have the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and so on. There's like a whole lot of other things that play a role within your birth chart. But I will tell you guys that, you know, I have aspects in my chart that have been deemed not the best, right? I personally, for one, don't care about that because I claim everything with a good heart, with an open soul. So I know for myself, like, every single thing that's in my birth chart is meant to benefit me. And I've learned to see and understand that it actually does work this way. I remember actually an astrologer on Tumblr, I believe, said before that every single zodiac sign that you have in your birth chart, including aspects, like I stated, degrees, all of those things there are interpreted differently depending on how you see them, okay? So for example, for myself, I'll give y'all a really great example. In my birth chart, I have Venus square Saturn. Okay, so generally what that means is that if an astrologer sees that, they're probably going to tell me that it means that I can struggle in love a lot, that I may have gone through a lot of ups and downs in love, that it could be really hard for me to find like a partner early on in life because usually people with those aspects find love later on in life and things like that. And I will tell you guys, I mean, for sure, I've had big fat fucking ups and downs with my love life. It was very, like, I'm talking about in high school and middle school, which my love life started very, very, very young, when I was like a child, honestly. And all of those things that I went through when I was a kid, I dated like for the first time when I was in 5th grade. No, I dated for the first time when I was in kindergarten. I was 5 years old and I was like genuinely in love with that person's soul. You know what I'm saying? I know I was 5, but I knew what I felt. Like, I know it sounds crazy to some people because some of them can't even fathom that, but understand that everyone's different and we all have different experiences for sure. And yeah, that's like when my love life actually started, because those were all lessons I took with me to the end of the finish line, where after that I had another thing in like 6th grade, and then from there I met my first love. So I had this whole situationship for like 5 years straight. And you know, it seems very crazy obviously, but for someone like me it was very normal because I was always extremely mature since I was honestly born, like dead ass. And I will tell you guys, you know, with that being said, it can seem very scary because you hear that and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to go through that, I don't want to struggle like that, I'm so scared, I have this in my chart, so it limits me. And that's not true, because even with that, I will tell you guys, with having a Venus square Saturn, it also claims that you mature very well, that you mature very strongly, especially in love. With these people, they usually end up really not playing about love in the way that they will find somebody and they will make sure that they're loyal know, like they're not going to mess around with their love life anymore at all. And also it can also represent aging well. Okay, so the whole thing with that is that obviously I'm not going to sit here and claim this is going to make my love life so hard, I'm going to struggle so much. Like I'm not going to claim that, you know what I'm saying? Because before in the past I would have had a little bit more fear, and I would have thought like, shit, I'm scared, I don't want this to happen to me. Don't be afraid of anything in your birth chart, okay? I don't care if you have a bunch of Scorpio, if you have a bunch of Aquarius in your chart or whatever, it may scare you for whatever reason. Even for myself, bro, I have my freaking Pluto in Chiron in the 10th house. That right there, boom clap, it is enormous struggles with my work life. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a lot of transformation, a lot of depth, a lot of this and that, a lot of hustle and tussle within my professional career, which it was like that before. But as time went on, I learned to understand that I can actually make these things shift in my highest favor. So it doesn't have to be like a painful process. It doesn't have to be that I'm sitting here and I'm struggling my ass off for me to be as successful as I am. You know what I'm saying? In terms of keeping up with it, having to stay up, all that stuff. No, I'm gonna keep it as simple as possible, and I'm gonna understand that for myself, this means good transformation with my work and career. So every single thing that I do with work, career, whatever, it's gonna benefit me, and it always does. And it literally always does. Every single thing that I've done as far as my work has all helped me tremendously, and it's because of my mindset. That's really it. So I want you guys to understand that no matter what is in your birth chart, no matter what an astrologer tells you, do not claim anything that you don't want to claim in terms of how you perceive a certain aspect or planet in your birth chart. Like I stated, do not assume that, oh, because I have an Aries Mars, it means that I'm uncontrollably angry and I have breakdowns and I'm like the Hulk. Like what? I mean, if you want to, okay, but no, bro, like no, like you have a lot of passion. That's what that means. It means that you are very able to stand up for other people. It means that you do not play about your business and you're not going to let anyone test you. That's basically it. You know, it's about the way that you perceive these things. So I just want you guys to know as well, the reason I'm stating this is because someone commented under one of my videos. It's not the only reason, but they said something about zodiac signs being limiting, and I totally understood that because I used to assume that as well, but they're not limiting, thankfully. You know, it's all about your perspective. Just like everything else is in this life, you have to perceive them with an open mind. Obviously, like you have to be very open-minded to understand that these things are actually meant to help you. They're meant to uplift you and to give you a lot of clear indications as to what direction to take in favor of the Most High. And I will tell you guys that obviously I have like a birth chart that's very heavy in certain aspects. No, it's like definitely very heavy, but it has all worked out for me. Like I let it work out for me. Even me being a 12th house stellium, I mean, hello, that's known as like the struggle nation freaking stellium, because that stellium represents a lot of heaviness in, again, the birth chart. So it's kind of like everything about us is all about delusion. Oh, you're being delusional, or you don't see things for what they really are, and it's really toxic when you see things a certain way or whatever. Babe, I've let it all work out for me, okay? I'm definitely not delusional in the sense that I hurt myself where I think I'm helping. No, I only help myself because I assume that everything is helping me. I work with the spirituality of the 12th house because the 12th house is the most spiritual zodiac sign, or not zodiac sign, it's the most spiritual house in all of the zodiacs, or all the houses, you know? So I use that spirituality to help lift me up, you know, where everything that I'm talking about now, I talk about it. I don't care what I say. I don't care how people receive it. I assume the best out of everything that I talk about, and believe me, I receive the best. I remember there were times that people took things that I said out of proportion because they just didn't understand what I was saying. And that's totally fine, you know, like I never got upset about it. I mean, a few years ago, it would hurt my ego a bit, but as time went on, I really learned to understand that, you know, some people just don't understand, and that's completely fine because they will understand, or maybe they're even being prideful about it, because with the 12th house stellium as well, it's known for projection. People can project onto us very heavily, but guess what? That never happens to me because I don't allow that to happen. So even for myself, if people try to project onto me, it usually always just kind of goes back in their face. Not in the way that it backfires, but it's just kind of like a mirror. I'm holding up a mirror to them, and then they just know that what they're telling me about myself is actually what they feel about themselves, you know? So yes, guys, I just want y'all to know and to remember for yourselves that every single zodiac sign that you have in your birth chart is meant to help you and benefit you. Your soul created and crafted that right before you were born. So just know that that zodiac sign, that birth chart, everything that you got going on in that birth chart is all meant to help you, and it all is. I promise you, it all is. You deserve nothing less than best. You deserve to be very happy, and I know that you will be, because of course you already are. And of course you're going to use your chart to help benefit you to the most of your ability. You know, as a Scorpio Mars, ooh, what does that mean? Revenge. Ooh, I'm so intense and I'm so sexual and all this shit, babe. Like, I make it work in my highest favor. Okay, I am very intense, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like a revengeful, petty person. I'm just someone who makes these things work in favor of me being very passionate, very fulfilling in my life. You know, Scorpio Mars, they want to make the best happen for themselves in the way that they want a very passion-filled life, and I do have that because I've created that for myself, alongside even Capricorn. You know, Capricorns again are known for being the most pessimistic, negative, oh my god, sad ass, boring sign. Not actually, don't take it personal, Capricorns, because again, I'm a Capricorn. It's not actually like that, but they have been labeled that way for many years. Like since I was a kid, I saw everything online, especially like old Instagram. If y'all remember old Instagram back in like 2014, 2015, it was all the same zodiac sign stuff, like a lot of stereotypical things. And yes, it is true, Capricorns are known for being pessimistic because they are the most pessimistic sign. It doesn't mean that we take that with us and that we let that be something that we actually are. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be pessimistic, because why would I be? I'm gonna use the things that I went through before to make me into a very positive and very helpful person for other people, to be more determined within themselves, because I've learned what it was to go through that struggle, and for me to come out on the other side to show people exactly how to be as strong as that. So it's really all about interpretation. Just use it to the best and to the most of your ability in favor of your most high, because you deserve nothing less than best. And of course, I mean, obviously with your interpretation of these things, it's all gonna help benefit you, and I know that it will, because it already is. It definitely is. But yes, just remember that for yourself always. Be very strong-minded about it. Don't let anyone tell you anything that you don't want to hear about your zodiac signs. Like, always know that if someone tells you something that's like, oh, this aspect means this unfavorable thing, you can always shift it into something very favorable, because there's always two sides to everything in that sense, where your zodiac signs can tell you one side, but you can always change it into what you actually want. Go by that, and then you're gonna watch how that manifests for you too, okay? So again, as someone who's made my painful ass chart into something of an enormous power, I know for a fact that you can and will do that for yourselves too, you know? So, you know, even Capricorn's very logical, but babe, I can tell you I'm very illogical, but very logical for me, you know? Like, this is my logic. This is the way that I see the world. It may be illogical to others, but to me, I don't see why that would ever be illogical to anyone or anything, unless you don't believe in yourself, you know? So even then, I understand. I know what it's like. I know what it is. Believe me, I definitely do know. I love zodiac signs. I study them all the freaking time. I've been studying them for over 10 years now, since I was like 12 years old, which would be 12 years, which is crazy. But yes, I mean, honestly, guys, just take it with you. Do what you got to do. Believe in the best. Always interpret your chart in the very best way possible, and everything will always turn out exactly like it's supposed to for you, because it always can, as it should, and it always will, because you said so, and that's it. All right then, though, my love, may God bless y'all always. Thank y'all so much for listening today. I truly intend nothing but the best for you always, and that this helps you out to the most of its ability, and that you're using it for your, you know, your zodiac sign, like in favor of the most high, like I stated. All right then, though, guys, may God bless y'all again. Please take care, everyone. Bye, angels. Use those zodiac signs to the best of your ability, and I know that you definitely are, because we said so, and that's it. God bless y'all. Bye.